Oh!
Glad you picked that.
Ice Dogs are back, baby. They're back.
No, the one thing we didn't check to see was last time we...
4 months ago. We'll get back into it. Hey, what's up, guys, and welcome back to the Millennial ManCave. It's been a couple months.
2019.
It is 2019.
That's a thing.
Lots of hockey to discuss on today's episode. A big game here against Columbus. As you can see, we are battling it out in the standings here. So let me actually roll it back because it did move after I said that. There we are, Mississauga Ice Dogs, 6th place right now, and trying to work our way up. Like, if you look at it, we're actually 3 points out from Tampa.
Which is huge.
Yeah, because the Leafs and Boston are obviously kind of running away with it, but we do have an opportunity to make something happen as an expansion team.
The other big thing here is, like, we all have 47 games played.
Yep.
So it's not like there's games in hand here and there. We're 3 points out from being in third.
Bingo. Now Toffoli's 1 goal away from 20, leads the team in points, 44-48. Chef Tom, it is time to get into the hockey action. My dude.
Again, I'm not like, as a flamer, I don't know what to expect.
We're going to be
out of my talents tonight.
We're expecting to win. You play to win the game. Chef Tom. Play to win the game.
You're going to throw old cliches at me?
Of course. You know, let's take it one shift at a time. You're a little worried. You got dump and chase.
I was just going to say.
Play some great hockey. You got to play heavy.
That was such a great... there was a clip that came out a little while ago from TSN, which I'm sure you guys in the States are familiar with, worldwide even. They just interviewed a bunch of hockey players, like, what are your go-to statements? And like, right off the bat, it's like, hey, you know what? It's a team game. You know, we'll come out better tomorrow. You know, when times are going bad, just dump and chase.
Oh, yeah. Dump and chase. One of the classics. All right, I like that Konechki's trying to get things started here. So, we got to get into the hockey talk.
That's a turnover.
It has been... That's Kadri card? Can I slap down the Kadri card?
Hey, it's never too early.
Slapping it down.
So much I want. This is something I want to talk to you even off air.
Right away. Let's go. What is it?
Where is Kadri right now in the Maple League?
Where is Kadri?
Where is Kadri?
He's on the third line. Still playing more minutes than Austin Matthews, if you want to look at it that way.
Up.
Come on, Antasu. That gets out. Okay. Yeah, so Kadri goes down with concussion. So he actually is going to be probably on the IR for a bit now, for a hot minute. Yeah, he got hurt against St. Louis the other night. Took a big hit from Vince Dunn.
Oh, yes, I did see.
Yeah, he's going to be out for a little bit. So, concussion spotter caught it. They're looking into it now.
Oh, I did not foresee this. Yeah, I'm trying to make pretty plays. Pucks to the net, win games.
Well, we are an expansion team. We don't necessarily have the most amount of talent, per se. Oh, wow.
How's that not a major?
That's got to be.
How is that not a major?
Yeah, goal.
That's clearly checking from behind. That's 101 checking from behind.
Get out of here. All right, let's go, Konechki. Big win, buddy. Big win. Yeah.
First line's not bad, but it's not first line. It's second line.
Oh, I thought that was going to be you.
Whoops. I've got some presence in front.
There we go. They got Zakov. Oh!
Nice! Not even mad. Not even mad. It might not be Zakov anymore. Bobrovsky might be getting the call in. He's on concussion protocol right now.
Oh my god.
But we did take a penalty, that's what counts.
Well, it's after the play. You can't be mad about that. I slipped. I thought the puck came loose. I just wanted to try to get there, you know? I don't think I did anything wrong. I'm going to connect. I wanted that to get the tuck.
That's not a penalty. Okay. Well, I can't even tell you the last time I've seen this many, like, consecutive penalties.
Kadri cards.
And
yeah.
All in all.
Oh, yeah. Okay. So, we've derailed here a little bit. I know we've been really excited to get back into some NHL. So, Toronto Maple Leafs. Listen, we got to start off with our Leafs, guys. Obviously, we are massive Leaf fans, as some of you know.
Oh, come on. I'm alone in front of the net.
For our new viewers, Leafs fans of the Toronto area.
No surprise.
So, what, like, expectations-wise, where are the Toronto Maple Leafs stacking up against how you feel the expectations were coming into the year, and where they're sitting? Oh, yeah!
Awesome.
Oh, 1 for 1 Tail Hall.
Ready? Larson? Yeah, Larson.
Yeah. 1-for-1 Taylor Hall. Just saying. So, expectations. Where is it versus, you know, how they're playing currently, what you thought the preseason looks were supposed to be? Like, a lot has happened this season. A lot has happened.
So I thought when Matthews went down, I thought we would have been a lot worse off. I'm happy to see. Yeah. I will say that. I will say I think the power play really kind of fell apart.
Well, because we do the same thing over and over again.
Yeah, we just
not exactly hard to figure out. Mitch is gonna get it. Mitch is gonna try and find, you know, Matthews. Riley's gonna jump it back to Riley. Riley's gonna try to look for Matthews. He's gonna go back to Mitch. Like, it's just, it was bland. Very bland.
Well, when you have such elite talent, though, come on. Like, it should be almost an automatic. That's all I'm saying.
It should, but in the grand scheme of things.
Oh, that's a nice save.
What a tip. That was obviously a big one for us. So I want to get started right away with the William Nylander contract, because that's a piece that we talked about with Captain Duck, with Dave, when he came in and, you know,
oh my God!
Bar down. Are you? Oh,
that was awesome.
I know. You know, that was obviously one that was big for us. Like, the Nylander piece, like, I think the Leafs lost the Nylander saga.
Yes.
Like, they grossly overpaid for him. And don't get me wrong, I like Nylander. But
he's not a $7 million.
He's proved nothing. Like, Nylander at this point in the season, guys, he's played for like 30 games now. Or 25 games.
So to say that, you know, you're still getting into game shape, that's the end.
That's done. That leniency is gone. And you look at the fact now that he's got, what, 4 goals? The entire year, maybe 10 points.
Again, with the team that we have,
yeah,
that should not be the case.
And the best part is Babcock is even playing him lower on the lines for him to get better matchups against lesser players, like third liners, fourth liners, and this guy still is trying to get it sorted out right now. So that's been a big disappointment, I think, for me. Obviously, the big news: the Maple Leafs signed Austin Matthews, 5-year deal.
I'm okay with the fact that it's only 5 years.
I think the deal works out because it worked out with the cap era. Now, like, the kid is fantastic. He's obviously going to get paid his money. Will he fleece the Leafs in 5 years if he's staying with us? Absolutely. But, but in the grand scheme of things, he's going to fleece any team because he's the kind of player that's going to get paid. And the players these days are trying to make sure they're getting paid for their value at the time that it's happening. Yeah, because look at Kucherov. Kucherov was making crap money, and this guy's putting up like 100 points a year.
He'll be the first player to hit 100.
It's insane.
He's under 70 games.
He's on pace for about 130 right now. So, I mean, it's crazy, guys, and I'm happy with the Matthews signing. He's getting paid fair market value, I'd say.
Yeah.
You know,
and it's one of those Crosby signings where the numbers match up to, you know this?
Yeah.
Where it's like he was drafted first overall in the
2017?
Yeah, so that ends up being...
Oh, God. Okay. The breakouts. I like what I'm seeing from the boys right now. Very happy to see what I'm like. I am loving this. Up. Find your way. There we go. Slow it down a bit.
Oh.
Backwards to fulls.
Go, go, go. I got net presence.
Oh, yeah, that got up there. Oh, oh. That goff.
Pausing shit.
That goff. So, I mean, that's a win for the Leafs. I'd say, you know, getting him locked out. Mitch Marner's the big one right now.
So this is where I knew you were going to go with the conversation. This is something we discussed off air. I am worried because Mitch Marner's parents came out and said. Now, Mitch Marner, if you guys don't know, is the best offensive prospect out of his draft class. He produced the most in terms of, oh gosh, in terms of points from his draft class. No one else has produced. A. B, the Toronto native, born and raised. Now, where my concern lies, is that his parents have openly come out and said, again, Toronto boy, everyone wants to play for their hometown team. You know, everyone's talked about John Tavares, this new guy that came in, hot free agent signing for Toronto to be the next captain. Morgan Riley, you know, he's paid his dues. He's one of the longest tenured Leafs. You know, he's playing a great offensive season. You know, Norris contention.
He is.
You know, there's talks about him being the captain. Talks about Austin Matthews, first overall draft pick from the Leafs since Wendell Clark. And, like, first Leaf, I think, ever to score 20 goal seasons
to start his career. Yeah,
his career.
Solid goal. Alex Tuck, baby. Well done.
So, his parents come on and say, like, why are these guys getting recognition when Marner's leading the team in points year after year now, and he hasn't signed, and he's not getting the recognition of being the top guy. So I don't. That has me concerned.
But I think in the grand scheme of things, no matter what happens, you have to keep in mind that Mitch Marner wants to play in Toronto. There's no question. And I think like when it comes down to, and a big thing the Toronto media guys, they spin off is offer sheets. Someone's going to come in and offer Mitch $18 million, and the Leafs aren't going to be able to afford it. But guys, the player has to want to play in the place where the offer sheet is given. So it's not just that the offer sheet drops, he's signing. Like, no, and it's funny because it's something that Austin Matthews touched on after he signed, where they said, like, you know, Austin, can you touch on the whole offer sheet piece? Like, you know, there's a lot of speculation that you guys would be listening to it, should it come to that point, yada, yada, yada. And Matthews fully said, nobody knows what the discussions are that happens in the room. He's like, we've been laughing at the fact that people just assume that we're going to leave for money.
The funny thing is also, is I think the only good to come out of Nylander sitting out is that he talked to the boys and said, you know what, it's not fun. Like, Nylander did not have a good time sitting out.
No, and I mean, it obviously shows, too, that it's a problem. And I think, to be honest, there's a lot of other teams that have to be worried about this, you know, offer sheet free agency issue. Like, look at Tampa Bay. Braden Point needs a contract. Look at, you know, Winnipeg. Line A needs a contract. Kyle Connor needs a contract. Trouba needs a contract. Like, the Leafs are not the only team.
is on his way, too.
Next, yes. So,
in the coming couple years.
I mean, you look at the situation, and you're like, why is it that Toronto, obviously because the media and everything here, is the one seeing as like, oh, these guys are so messed up now. There's so many players I got to sign. They're going to get offer sheeted. Oh. Like, it's just, it's so ridiculous. There's so many hot takes.
Again, like, they're just, the Toronto media, they will obviously be that much. Case in point, even the whole thing, how our news broke like a month ago after Matthews signed that Marner's squad or Marner's crew came out and said we were grossly offended by the offer made by Toronto. Then Marner came out, he's like, look, that was before the season started.
Yeah, well, his agent is an idiot. Let's be honest.
Like, that did no good publicity.
His agent's trying to start stuff, and I mean, yes, sure, it helps it probably at the bargaining chip to make, you know, Kyle Dubas need to realize, oh, there's, you know, the media issue here. They're asking a lot of questions because they're saying you're not offering Marner this. So they're trying to get the talks out there, and as an agent, I understand that. But in the grand scheme of things as well, like, Mitch is not a drama guy. So for them to...
He just wants to play a good game.
And that's it, right? So that whole piece to me was stupid. And funny enough, like, it was an article that was taken out of context. The agent came back and was like, yeah, no, that was actually from, like, before the season started. Yeah. We've had a lot more conversations since then. We're very positive. Mitch wants to play here. So to me, it's all fake news. And I, you know, keep using that term because it's just wholeheartedly true. And
nothing more describes.
No, it's just... It doesn't make sense, man. And, you know, I think Mitch will sign. I think there's potential that they could look for a bridge deal. There's potential they might look for like a 2, 3, 4-year deal. I mean, you want to spread out those contracts, right? Willie signed a 7-year deal. Austin signed a 5-year deal.
Willie was 7?
Willie was 7. Right? So you want Marner at potentially, what, 4? 6?
I would hope 6.
You want to spread it out, right? Like, you definitely don't want those guys coming up at the same time. Similar to the situation you had this time, right?
Well, that was inevitable.
Well, yeah, both those guys got called up at the same time, but for going forward, because you look at the issues that, like, a team like Chicago's having, right? They signed, you know, Taves, Kane, freaking, you know, Seabrook, all essentially around that same kind of time period. So, obviously, you want to be a smart GM. You want to spread those contracts out. So I'd be happy to see Mitch sign. I'd be happy to see Mitch sign a 2-year deal. If he wants to try and prove himself to make that worth show for his next contract, go for it. But be realistic. Jake Gardner's out. Yeah, Patrick Marleau's off. So that's $6 million come next year.
My biggest thing I like about, so this is deep diving, that's a new phrase that Jeff here is the trade for Jack Muzzin.
Jake can stay fun.
You know, we parted with a first rounder, yeah. We parted with what was arguably our 4th best prospect, sure. But you know what? You got a defenseman that will replace the minutes that Gardner.
But he's also a defenseman that
He's a defensive
plays the Babcock style. Because realistically, Babcock doesn't like having so many offensive defensemen. Like, yes, it is important. Yes, he has them. But he has Riley. He has, you know, Dermott, who's going to become that kind of player. Arguably better two-way.
Same with Rosen.
Than Gardner provides. And that's the key factor people forget, too. The Maple Leafs in their system have Rasmus Sandin, who they drafted this past year. They say this kid's going to be a solid two-way defenseman. Is he going to be a superstar? Maybe not. But he might be a good, you know, number 2 or, yeah, a second pairing guy.
Top 4.
Right? You got Rasmus. Timothy Liljegren. There's only upside with this kid. If he can stay healthy...
That's the only issue there is.
Yeah, he stays in the lineup. He's a potential top 4. Right? And then you cannot forget Borgman and Rosen. 2 guys that you touched on. They signed over from Sweden.
I love them because Rosen is the more offensive guy, and I actually prefer Borgman because he's just such a, like, cruiser get in your face. And
what's the thing is, Borgman can also skate. Like, I've seen this guy go end to end and score a goal, and you'd almost feel like, oh, he's like the offensive? Like, you don't really know, right? And that's the thing. The Leafs have that depth, you know, to make that move and potentially let Gardner walk. Because, let's be honest, Jake Gardner most nights is a defensive liability.
Oh, God, yeah.
And when it comes down
he's
to...
offense first.
He is, and he's a converted forward, right? So, when you have Morgan Riley, who's putting up now career numbers, right? Like this guy, like you said, he's a Norris Trophy candidate, right? And you have these prospects coming down the wing. You add in Jake Muzzin, who they have ownership for another year after this year.
But for me, it was huge.
Yeah, and you know what?
I'm not a fan of getting rentals. I really am not.
And I like the fact that Dubas fully came out and said, like, we will spend, but I'm not spending on a rental. So I appreciate that. I think, you know, if they look for something and it's going to be a rental, it's going to be small. Might be, you know, a smaller prospect or a random draft pick. Like, it's like you analyze that deal for Muzzin, right? So it's Carl Grundstrom, who, as you said, maybe
fourth,
top,
fifth backs.
I'd even put him like maybe top 7. I think he could have fallen out a little bit because he doesn't really have tremendous offensive upside.
Oh, he's a get in the corners.
Second, third line guy, might chip in 15 goals a year.
He's a better version of Uncle Leo.
Yes, ideally, perfect way to describe it. So you've traded Gunstrom, right? He's gone. They added in Sean Dursey, who's technically not even signed. He's an unsigned prospect.
But they had high hopes. I was more so upset with losing Dursey.
They did, but he's an overager playing in the OHL. Right? So, I mean, a lot of guys who are overagers playing in the O,
could be influenced.
Not good enough to step up to the next level yet. Right?
Surprising that he was drafted second round.
Well, they obviously saw stuff, right? I mean, you got Mark Hunter. He is a whiz at what he does. And,
what the hell happened there?
You know, they took their chances.
What the hell happened there?
I mean, floating pucks, man. Floating pucks.
Where's...
So that's kind of, you know, 2 guys there in a first-round pick. So, to me, the value given and the value got worked out for us.
I think it's a fair trade for both parties.
Yeah, I mean, even
if LA has to do something.
Yeah.
They really have to hit the read.
Well,
they're old.
Rob Blake, he saw the opportunity. He knew Muzzin might not be able to stay around. You know, are they moving on from Drew Doughty? Like, he says he wants to stay.
No, Doughty says
he wants
to
be. Yeah, he wants to be part of the rebuild. But in the grand scheme of things, dude, like, he might not see another cup for the rest of his career if he stays in LA. Right? Like, you know, Jonathan Quick apparently could be on the trade block come this trade deadline.
He has to.
Yeah, and who's playing net? Jack Campbell? Yes. Yeah. Jack Campbell is the backup in LA right now. No, he's still there. So they're like literally going between Jack Campbell and Cal Peterson. Both guys are not starting goaltenders in the NHL. So there's obviously a lot of issues there. And I don't think that's going to do any good for Doughty. Like, I'm sorry. Like, yeah, you want to be a lifer.
I mean, I just say kudos because those are far and few between.
There is. And
especially with, like, the CBA being what it is.
I think really the major issue for Doughty is he doesn't like the attention. He likes being in LA and being able to walk down the street and go to a restaurant without being bothered.
That blows my mind. It's like, LA, I don't think, but...
And it's not. You know what?
Like, the Lakers will get it.
Oh, yeah. Like, multiple interviews that I've seen with him, he stated that as a key factor for wanting to stay in LA. He's like, I like being able to do my own thing and not be bothered. I mean, I get it, but at the same time, I don't know if I could sit on a team that's struggling. Like, if you're Connor McDavid right now, and you're looking at the gong show that is Edmonton.
I think they have had the worst Yeah, buddy. The worst cap management.
Well,
the worst cap management.
So you have, you know, Peter Chiarelli, who goes and signs Koskinen to a $4 million a year deal. He just signed in the NHL last year and has proven nothing.
Forget about the beach experiment. Forget about the infamous trades.
Oh, the trades have been just an absolute gong show.
Like even with him in Boston.
Well, if you look at it, I think we touched on this maybe in a previous episode, but he traded 2 #1 picks. Oh, sorry, the #1 and #2 picks
from that draft.
Of that draft. Tyler Seguin, Taylor Hall, both traded under the hands of Peter Schroeder. I mean, you know, he won a cup in Boston. Sure, fine, he put together a great team, but I don't know if he's just maybe gone to the loony bin since then.
Oh, but even the team in Boston, like, they're still trying to, like, recover from that. Because right now, they're what? They have one of the best lines there. Can't argue. Brad Marchand.
But to be honest, I almost feel like if you can somehow, and I know that's tough to say because they are a line that's incredibly hard to shut down, but you shut down that line, and I'm sorry, Jake DeBrusk and, you know, Craigie aren't going to carry a team to a Stanley Cup playoff run. They are this great secondary players. But Pasternak, you know, Bergeron and Marchand are the driving factor of that team.
Hands down.
So,
hands down.
You know, you can somehow find a way to execute, grind them out. Great. That's going to get you past Boston because that's what's going to do it. Yes, they have a very strong defense still. They are, you know, they're a strong team through and through. But
yeah, I think their defensive prowess have kind of like calmed down a bit.
Oh my gosh. I still feel like they're up there, to be honest, and I only say that because they still can play a tough game. Like, they don't expect a lot from their defense in the way of offense. Like, outside of Charlie McAvoy, there's not a lot expected there. Like, they just want to go out and play a tough game. They want to hit everything in sight and make it tough for you to enter the blue line. And that's all that defense does.
Oh, they definitely play to the outside.
Like, quick pass out of the zone, try and get it to your skill guys, let them create the play. And then it also definitely helps when you have, you know, Bergeron, who's up for the Selke every freaking year, right? I mean,
every year.
It's one of those things when you have
really
a team that
one of
buys
the
it.
best two-way centers.
Well, and I mean, I think a lot of people forget, like, Patrice Bergeron did not have an easy go in the beginning of his NHL career.
Still injury, like, I still view him as an injury kid.
But the thing is, like, if you look at it, it's gotten a lot better versus where his career started, right? Like, I mean, the kid could barely get, when he first started, 35 games a year. Concussions and broken this and torn
concussions for days.
Yeah, torn that. So, I mean, you know, it was nice to see Bergeron actually get to have a career. But otherwise, just be another wasted talent, right?
Oh,
that's what I'm talking about.
We needed that. We needed that.
Bubble.
I feel like we should be in, like, the 4th period, like, right now.
I know.
It's only a second.
The beauty of it is this is when these things happen, guys. We get to play, you know, some games, and we get to chat some hockey, which Chef Tom and I obviously haven't been able to do on the channel for a while. So we got a lot to catch up for, man. The next couple episodes, there's going to be a lot of goodness.
So, okay, keeping on Boston, I feel like we should NHL team-by-team breakdown.
We're going to be at that point.
You know what? I honestly feel like we will. Let me, on the intermission here, I'm going to pull up NHL teams and just break it down of all the, like, hot topics. So, keeping on Boston, today getting Charlie Coyle.
Oh my god.
Charlie Coyle, if you guys do not recall, heavily regarded prospect for San Jose and was brought over to the Wild in a trade that saw Brent Burns go to San Jose.
Coyle is awesome. Such a good player.
And he's young as hell.
Oh my god.
He's young as hell. He's 26 and still signed for 2 years.
See, and we talked about this quickly, you know, tonight before we started shooting. Charlie Coyle, for me, if he gets 20 goals a year and just plays the two-way game that he's capable of,
oh my god, that's a great.
That is a purely successful deal. Like, I'm sorry, Ryan Donato, I don't know if that guy's ever going to pan out. And a 5th rounder. You know what I mean? For like a solidified, solid two-way player, he can play center. He could play the wing, and he also knows how to grind out a good game, man.
Like, my only concern, well, I think you're kind of undervaluing Donato a little bit, in the sense that, like, he did put up great numbers. And, like, the Olympics, I get it. Weren't like years past where, you know, powerhouses of players.
No, Patrick O'Sullivan put up numbers in the Olympics too, and I love the guy, but it never panned out to the NHL. Plain and simple. My jersey in my closet will kind of explain that to you. I love him. Oh my god.
I feel like that was...
So, I mean, it's one of those things, right? Like, I don't buy into that. I need to see Donato killing it in the A. Kill it, you know, in the NHL. Show us
what the
expectation is.
He had 5 goals last playoffs? Okay, I'm doing this. I'm pulling up NHL.
I don't know if I buy it for me, man. I don't know if I buy it. What we'll do is, guys, we'll get our list started here, and then we'll finish it off in our next episode if we have to.
Let's get through the East.
It's our best way.
Let's get through the East today.
In one period.
In one period.
All right. Yes,
so,
sir. Who's first?
Ottawa Senators.
Ottawa. Oh, my God. Rebuild Central.
Rebuild Central. You don't have your first overall draft pick.
Yeah, just get rid of everything you can and get prospects and picks back and rebuild.
So if you had to sign one of Stone, Single, or Duchesne,
you're thinking only one?
If you could. I don't think any of them truly want to play in Ottawa.
Well, apparently Stone does. So Stone apparently wants to stay. I think the guy to move is Duchesne. I think you get the most for him. And,
really?
Yeah, and I think you sign Stone and Zingle and have them buy into the rebuild. Because Zingle, I don't think he's going to be a guy who's going to ask for a large contract. He can't.
I don't think so either, but like he's a...
Oh, he is. And, you know, he's having a great year.
I think they can definitely like capitalize on his value. That's what I'm getting at. I think he'd be the easiest of them to sign.
But the problem is, just like the Leafs, you know, during their rebuild, you still need players to play. You know, because you want to get fans in the seats still. I think Zingle's a guy who, like you said, he can play a role. He's got 44 points this year, right? 20 goals, 20 assists, dead even, essentially, in, you know, how effective he is on both sides of the puck. He can grind it out. Good player, man. I like Zingle. I think they should keep Zingle and Stone. I don't believe that, you know, Matt Duchesne is their guy. You know, Duchesne, obviously, he's been moved on once already from his time in Colorado.
Well, he openly said, like, you know, if there's a trade coming now, great. I'm used to it.
Yeah, it's fine.
Like, it's not going to dawn on me. It's not messing with me. They are scratching him until the trade deadline.
Which makes sense.
And I mean, I understand.
We're shortly approaching. I think it's on Monday.
Yeah, the 25th.
Yeah, and funny enough, I'm at the Leaf game that night, so hopefully any Leafs potentially can make it across the pond. Oh my Pellich.
Never knew a bad Pellich.
Never drafted a bad Pellich.
Never drafted a bad Pellich.
Not in NHL.
Talking like circa 2010.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're welcome.
So that's my you know, Ottawa philosophy. There's no goaltending there. Philip Gustafsson, I think, is still a little ways away. So
I think Gustafsson's a ways away. I think Anderson is done.
Oh, he's finished.
Done. Oh yeah, baby.
That's on a 5-minute power play. 2 goals.
Shorties.
You're welcome.
I'm addicted.
I'm sure they're a little salty right now.
Yeah, just sweat.
So the big one.
Not like workout sweat, but like
just cheese. So the big one, yeah, for Ottawa, they got to move Duchesne. I think signing Zingle, signing you know, Stone, I think that for them franchise-wise makes the most amount of sense. And you know, I think they got great pieces to build around with Chabot, Thomas.
I still think is a great piece.
Maxime Lajoie and Chabot, I think, are the 2 guys that are going to hold that defense. Cody Ceci, I think, is an opportunity for them to move.
They've been talking about moving.
I don't think he stays around. They might get some half-decent pieces back.
He can play top 4.
He could. I think he could. Definitely on that second pair. I would definitely not say he's a guy who can move up to a 1.
No.
But, I mean, should an injury happen short-term, he's there, right?
Formidable.
Yeah. I don't know. That's all I really see for Ottawa. They have to rebuild. Eugene Melnick came out already and said, you know, we'll spend money in a couple years when we're, you know, ready to do so, per se. Yeah, and I think as an owner, the guy's got to shut up and get out, don't be involved.
I think the biggest thing that's kind of nipping Ottawa in the ass right now is that they have these 3 pieces that who knows what they get back for them, but they don't have their first. That is the biggest mistake they could have done. So it was Ottawa's choice to either give them last year's first rounder or this year's first rounder. And they opted to keep last year's first.
Well, seemingly enough, they thought that, you know, they were going to be contending. They got Duchesne, they thought, yep, we're good here.
Did a full year with them.
And it was going to make the game changer, and I think that was management's fault to not understand what they had, and that's a great. But that's my Ottawa pick. I don't know if we got anything else left to add for them, but we got to start killing off some teams here if we're going to finish the East.
So that's Ottawa. Next up on the list, we're starting from the bottom, feeders up. New Jersey.
Oof.
I'm just surprised with New Jersey twofold. 1, Corey Schneider just got his first win in almost 14 months.
Yeah, almost 2 years?
Almost 14 months. Our first win. So that's step 1. Step 2 is the fact that they were a playoff team last year.
They were, yes. But
how?
In my eyes, they overachieved.
Oh, but to drop this hard? That's where I'm kind of like question mark.
It's a tough one. So if you break it down like we did for Ottawa, so what does this team currently have right now? They got Taylor Hall. They got
injured.
He is injured.
They have Heischer.
He also was on drugs last year. That's how that you know, whole thing started. It's because of what Hall did in that back end. You know, to finish off
He
the
won
year.
the MVP.
And for good reason. He had a hell of a season. So, between him and Heishier, you know, Zajac is still kicking around there, but obviously I know, he's quite aged, you know, but obviously a role player. Pavel Zacha really hasn't panned out to be what he should be, which
it's upsetting because he was
sad.
actually placed on waivers.
Insane, right?
Kyle Palmieri, I can't buy into.
Yeah, I'm not a Palmieri guy, but hey, if he keeps scoring 20, 30 goals a year, he's doing his job, you know, and he's supposed to be a grinder. You know, big one for them. Larson, obviously, still there.
Larson?
Or, sorry, he went to Edmonton. God, who am I thinking? Batman, yeah.
They picked him up last year. I like that trade more and more.
And
for both teams.
And I know, like, he's rounded out now to be not in Lindholm's, you know, shadow, right? Like, Batman's his own guy. He's like, you know, he's their guy there. He's their top defenseman. So, I mean, outside of that, you know, goaltending's going to be an issue, obviously, like you said, for Schneider.
I'm just baffled at how bad Schneider's been. This is a guy that's a perennial, like, Vezina, or at least discussion.
You're talking injury issues again there for him, unfortunately. Concussions. You know, but there's a bright point to Jersey's season. I mean, they saw some positive stuff from Mackenzie Blackwood. Obviously, Keith Kincaid is not going to be the guy. He's part of the stopgap.
Who's another player I feel that's been in the league? I feel like they've had him in their prospect pool forever.
Yeah, I mean, again, goaltending's always tough, right? You never know what you're really going to end up panning out. I mean,
they always develop later.
Yeah, for sure. And it's, I don't want to touch on Leafs again, but look at Joseph Woll. And how long is it going to be till we hear that name kind of kicking around?
Well, geez, I heard Isaac is coming back up. Blew my mind.
Well, we'll see how that one kind of rolls through. But
I called it when it happened. I was pissed we didn't get hurt. But we're not talking the Leafs.
We're not on the Leafs.
You're happy with New Jersey?
I'm happy with Jersey. Yeah, I think they're gonna have to go into a small little rebuild again. I think they have some pieces, but they're definitely not ready to be a perennial playoff team.
Or you hit the nail on the head. They were overachieving. I did like the acquisition of Marcus Johansson last year.
Yeah, that's a nice addition. I did like that
but
one.
I mean, that's not going to win you a championship. So that's New Jersey. Off to the Motor City. I mean, we all know it's rebuild city in Detroit.
It is. It is. So
for a couple years.
My question mark for Detroit right off the bat, goaltending. I mean, you know, Jimmy Howard's done. They had lost the Peter Mrazek battle. You know, he obviously took off. He was off to Carolina. First to Philly, then he got shipped to Carolina.
Yep.
Right, or signed in Carolina.
It's just baffling that he was supposed to be the answer. And he was for a couple of years, but then as soon as like he was given the reins, he just choked.
That did not work out in their favor at all, especially considering they were really crowning him to becoming.
Yep.
So that one was kind of tough for them. Big one, and I think we talked about it before we started shooting. Philip Zadina's getting the call up.
I cannot wait to see this kid is a sniper through and through. I really hope his game can translate to the NHL. I really want Detroit. Like I'm a suck for the original 16. Yeah. I really want Detroit to turn that new. I really.
Such a bad bounce. Did not work our way at all. Yeah, I think you hit that one on the head. Zadina's got to be their guy.
Larkin still has promise.
I'm not giving up on Larkin at all. I think there's a great chance he's the next captain of Detroit.
I agree. I think he's the heart and hustle of.
And he is. And I think he showed.
He kind of has that Yzerman feel to him.
He's got a good two-way presence to him. Which I like.
Vibe.
Yeah, he's speedy, he can shoot, he's buying into, you know, oh god, that's a great goal to do that. That's 20 for the
20.
Yeah. You know, buying into the system is huge for him. And, you know, I think with, you know, happen to see you there, they got some potential. Witkowski is showing some great promise for them on the back end. Nicholas Jensen likely is going to be moved.
I don't know enough about him, but yeah, I do see
I see him more as a depth guy, really. I mean, obviously, there's some pieces there that need to be done. I don't know the exact farm system for Detroit outside of Zadina. I know
they say Nyquist might be on the way out as well.
Definitely a guy, maybe a rental.
I mean, fuck, if you can turn Thomas Tatar into first, second, and third out of Vegas, Nyquist to me, I put above Tatar.
Oh, yeah. Tata! And we can't forget about Svechnikov. Because one of the brothers is on that squad. And then there's, I think Andre is the one that's on Carolina. And there's one that's there on Detroit. I always forget his first. But Obviously, he wasn't as highly touted as his brother, but no less, like, they still think he's going to be a very, very good player for them. And you know the way Detroit, builds players up. They build superstars out of nothing. That's the Detroit system.
Out of like 4th, 5th round draft picks.
Oh yeah. That's how they roll. That's kind of how I see Detroit. They're going to take some time, but I think we'll see the Motor City back at it too.
I think it's going to be about a 2 to 3 year window before we start seeing them make a continual push. Yeah. But, I mean, they're moving in the right direction. If they can get collateral, whether it be picks or prospects, Jimmy Howard or Nyquist, then they're in a good way.
I think Jordan did that.
So, New York Rangers.
The Rangers.
Very, very interesting.
The Rangers are, to me, just an aged team that need to scrap it and start from scratch. Because right now, like,
nothing.
They got nothing. Nothing. Like, there's no Rangers prospects that I'm like, oh my god, I can't wait for him to hit the system. Like,
there's no player on that team where I'm just like, I can't.
Ow. That's a big one. Big one.
There's no player on that team right now that I watch. I'm enjoying watching. If anything, for the Rangers, I feel bad for them. Like, what a way to end a great career.
Lundqvist is done. They got, Georgiev. That's there. I mean,
he put up 55 saves against the Leafs.
He had a big game, sure, but again, he's been super inconsistent. He doesn't look like a guy who can take over a #1 role, and I don't know if he's supposed to be honest. Again, not incredibly familiar with that system, but I can tell you that I don't think there's a lot there. This game has gone well.
Just need to amp it up.
Yeah, a little bit. When we talk hockey, guys, we forget about what we're playing. We just let our fingers make it happen.
Let nature take its course.
I find this is what the MMC does their best. So, yeah, that's kind of one for me where I don't really know what to believe in the Rangers. Prospect-wise, nothing screams at me, man. I don't know what it is. Maybe I'm out of the loop.
You know what blows my mind about the Rangers? People forget, fucking Kevin Shattenkirk is there. And where is he?
He's the same place that everybody else is on that team. Where's Chris Kreider?
I think it shows that he's not meant to be a #1 B.
Yeah, and people could have probably
he was paid to be one.
But people could have told you that from St. Louis. Like, Pietrangelo, was the hook and sinker of that pair. And, obviously he kind of was able to let Shattenkirk play his style of game because Pietrangelo plays his style of game. And they really worked well that way, like peanut butter and jelly.
But even, like, on the rental clause where they got him in Washington, like, it was not a pretty... Like, he did not have a great season for Washington.
Oh, yeah, there was a lot of call-outs for that. Like, people thought, like, oh, it's like a Shattenkirk now. It's a Stanley Cup.
Yep, that's the difference maker.
No dice.
New Brian Leach.
No dice. I mean, he still does his piece offensively. He's just not a guy I think you can build off of.
He's not a one. He's a great free and a at best. Like, he cannot lead a defense. Ultimately,
no chance.
Like, if you have Crosby coming down the wing, being in that they play each other frequently, I don't want Shattenkirk lined up against him.
To be honest, I like more from defensive side for the Rangers out of Yonk and another fellow there that you like.
Skage? Skage? I can never pronounce it.
Yeah,
it's like SKJ.
Ray Skage.
I think he's phenomenal.
Yeah. Between like those two, Pionk and whatever, like I see a lot more upside with them than I do with Shattenkirk himself. And again, like it's another team where prospect-wise, like what's coming on the pipeline there? That's people are overly excited about. Like, oh man, when this guy hits the Rangers, a takeoff.
Maker.
Yeah. That's kind of the Rangers to me in a nutshell. They have to piece everything out, and you got to start from scratch. That's where I see it.
And I right through agree with you, Jeff. I wonder if we can ramble along.
We can try. We've got 30 seconds left.
Florida Panthers.
Start from scratch.
Well, you didn't say that like clearly. I think there's a lot of positive happening with Florida.
Outside of Barkov and I don't buy into Huberdeau as the big sell that they did when he was first coming to the league. Like they sold he was going to be an all-star #1 line guy. Like I don't see that. I see him as a good second, really good second. Barkov's the guy.
Barkov is the captain for.
Hands down, yeah. So obviously very exciting. They brought in Derek Brassard from Pittsburgh and the deal that sent over Nick Bukestad.
I think they came out. Well, they scored what? I think they
it
scored.
was one.
I think they scored 1 second and 2 hits. But they definitely came out on the lesser side of
But they were able to take,
pedigree of players.
and they were able to take the salary down, which is what exactly Pittsburgh was looking for, and to get a new opportunity with, I think, Bukestad, who's probably going to play more of a style of game that they want to see. So that, I think, for me, like, Florida made the right sense to do what they did. Obviously, this year they hurt because they lost. Who's that went down?
I look at the shots and wonder if they didn't count the warm-up.
I think they lost a player early who's.
I feel like Trocheck's always in.
That's who it was. It's Trocheck.
Nice, there you go.
But Trocheck went down early for them. He obviously was fantastic last year.
When he's in the lineup, he's great. It's keeping him in the lineup is the problem.
And I mean, they got some of the younger kids there, like Vetrano and some of these kids coming up the line. But again, like I don't know if that team has enough to go deep into a playoff run. Goaltending is tough for them. Luongo's old. James Reimer obviously never saw the kind of leaf production he did in Florida.
So funny enough, because we'll cut it here as we do our outro,
Our quick sign out.
Wow.
Foley had a game. Larson had a game, 6 hits. Konechny, 50 shots to 40 shots. Like, that was a sprint.
Good game.
That was a
That was all offense. So we're going to cut off the Florida thing. I don't think they need a full rebuild. What I think they need to do is bite the bullet and get rid of one of their goaltenders, because they're eating up almost $9 million year after year.
I think both of them are.
Gotta pick your poison at this point. I don't think you can openly cut both, but I think that if they can correct their goaltending, I think they have the pieces in play to turn around and make a playoff.
Well, rumor mill was saying they were looking at both Panarin and Brodsky.
That would have been a hell of a deal.
I don't think it happens,
There's
but
no way.
You never know, right? I mean, I don't think they have the pull to make that deal work.
Well, both are free agents in the offseason. Thing is now, how can you sign Bobrovsky? Bobrovsky is coming off a contract, 7.1 a year, 7.5 a year. He's going to ask at least exactly
9.5. Yep.
Panarin, he's been taking bridge deals all his life. He's going to bank.
He wants at least like 9.
So,
8.5, 9 million.
Where are you going to pull out if you're Florida? Where are you going to pull out? What is that? Odd million? Odd million?
Trouble.
9 and 9. 18.
But 18 to 20. So I see Florida potentially kind of staying where they are, man. They're going to dwindle until they can get a couple more prospects up to start playing well. They got that Bergstrom kid that came up. He's been playing half decent. You know, defensively, outside of Ekblad again, I don't see much.
Oh, Yando's run his core.
He's old.
He's the 4 second pairing defense. Or solid 5.
That's why I think that short window of them potentially making the playoffs is over, and they're going to have to try and figure something out to jump over that hump, because the East is not easy to make the playoffs. That we know.
It's really bottom, like, there really is 3 really identified bottom dwellers in Ottawa, New Jersey. Right?
Yeah.
It's clear that all 3 of them are lacking talent, but they built. But then as you progress off, like, that middle pack is just log jam. Guys that, like, are either getting over the potential or getting into their potential. Prospects are coming through. And then you got like the top boys like Tampa that it seems like every player they call up is like a perennial like guy.
Well, you have to keep in mind that, you know, Florida's kind of in that place that the Leafs were at for a long time. Right? They're not failing enough to get that first overall pick, but they're not winning to make the playoffs. So they're going to be stuck. We're going to have to kill it off at Florida. Unfortunately, we're only able to get through about 5 teams there. So next episode, we're going to start from the beginning, work our way through the rest of the East, hopefully finish the West.
Ballsy in 16.
We're going to give it a shot, guys. Now, let's quickly get through...
so that was what, our home game?
That was our home game against Columbus.
Chicago?
Take the next Chicago, or we got Nashville, and we got Anaheim.
Anaheim's been ragged.
Sorry, Anaheim is February.
Anaheim's been... Okay,
so Chicago or Nashville?
Chicago's got...
Yeah, we're going to head out to Chicago.
So original 6. I said I love my original 16.
You definitely did. We're actually getting close to the trade deadline as well. That's obviously next month.
Off air.
So that was going to be an off-air one. We'll give you guys the updates as she comes along. I don't think that's right. Yeah, that's definitely not right.
We know for a fact
it's
the 25th
Monday the 25th. Yeah, it is next Monday. So, that's where we're going to end this one off, guys. You're going to get Chicago in the next episode. You're going to have Chef Tom and I roll through the rest of our little NHL talk, catching up with you guys on everything we've missed, team-by-team breakdown. And then hopefully from there we'll be, you know, up to our usual standard. And
that's a challenge. There's 31 teams. We knocked out. Well, I guess you can say
we started in the third period.
We knocked out Boston and Toronto, technically.
Basically, yeah.
I mean, we got 7 out of 31 done.
And we started late. So, We'll leave you guys here. If you want to hear Chef Tom and I get back into our hockey talk, you guys know what you got to do. Hit that like button as hard as you possibly can. Subscribe to the MMC. Turn notifications on so you know the next franchise mode drops. And then, of course, you're going to want to leave some comments, man. What have we been talking about? Lots of hockey. You've been listening. Let us know your feedback on Chef Tom and I's opinions. Give us yours. We're going to touch on your team eventually. So let us know what you're feeling. We'd love to have that, those discussions with you guys.
Yeah, did we undercut your team? Did we over-assess and overpraise your team?
Who knows? You're going to have to let us know. You can only do that if you comment. You can only do that if you're liking and following and subscribing the MMC. Go check out the description below. You're going to get a little write-up from your boy. And then down below, our social media links, guys. Go follow the MMC on the socials. A great place to reach out to us. A great place to follow about new videos. Tons of great posts coming from our cousin Andrew, who's killing our social media game.
Yeah, on point.
Our socials manager, man. He's made such a big difference since coming on board. So a happy addition for us. And then, Twitch. You like Twitch? We love Twitch. Live streaming. Come check it out. Some live MMC conversations. Some good gaming, perhaps jumping into some games with your boys. Never know. You have to come
Interesting
by.
enough, there's going to be certain games that are going to be Twitch exclusive. So,
Oh, and how can we forget about the new emotes?
that was a great job.
Right?
That was a great job.
Right?
It really made me have to like assess myself and come to terms that I do have. The fact that it is pointed out on an emote.
And also, like, the hand crack.
Yeah, I do.
That's a Chef Tom exclusive that the designer is able to pull out for us without him even knowing. So, awesome. You want to check out the emotes, guys? We got some sub badges we've added as well. So, some great stuff on Twitch. Come check us out. Make sure you follow and subscribe on there as well. Turn notifications on so you know when we're going live. We try and get on at least once a week, if not maybe two. You got some promo codes, Clutch Chairz. Get a clutch desk and a chair. Sit comfortable, store your stuff well. It looks great. Be clutch. Save yourself some money. And last but not least, Tom, where can you buy the only place in the world to get MMC merchandise?
So I'm trying to be original here, but nothing's coming to mind.
So it's a color.
And you know when you have something delicate and you gotta wrap it up?
Use like some sort of a wrap.
Yeah.
What's it called again? Is it like a thing?
Pop them. Loud popping sound.
Yeah. So color and a pop sound.
I'm sure you guys.
Color blood, and you pop it. It's Redbubble. We had to drop you the news here, man. We couldn't hold you on any longer. Go check out the official MMC store. They make all of our stuff for us, guys. It's made to order, so it's not just sitting in a warehouse. They'll make it when you order it. They'll ship it to you guys. They ship worldwide. It's cheap prices, cheap shipping, but great quality. How much more can you ask for? Rep your boys, rep your favorite YouTuber, Twitch streamers. Guys, be a part of the MMC fam. Get some stuff. Wide array of products. Mix and mingle, have some fun with it. Send it to us if you get it. We're going to show you some love on the socials. And we signed out here with a big dub. We're climbing our way up there. Ottawa, we're only 2 points back.
I'm looking at our divisions. You're the... Anyways.
I'm not worried about it. We got a dub. We have lots of hockey to talk about in our next episode.
Till next one, boys and girls. See you there in the Windy City.